Hello everyone, my name is Dita Nusna. I will explain about introduction in the book Multiple Literacy, Professional Academic and Web Literacy in the Methods Introduction. This book begins by considering the importance of focusing on the learner needs in the context of language learning. Language learning and its teaching methodologies should be tailored to individual needs. Next, the books explain the relationship between learning language forms and the communicative needs of the learners. The English language profession has changed from the target native like a proficiency to focus on accuracy and fluency, a priority contextual. In this section, it also discusses the concept of context-specific learning and how to support individuals in acquiring a range of literacy across different contexts. 8.1 What are multiple literacy? The development of English for specific purposes or ESP in the English language teaching. ESP is an approach which language learning is tailored to specific goals and context of the learner. It began in the 1940 when the British assisted police pilots in the Royal Air Force in acquiring English language competence specific to their professional duties. ESP evolved over time with the two main subfiles, English for occupational purposes EOP and the English for academic purposes EAP. ESP teachers focus on designing learning programs that enable learners to acquire language competence in tasks and discourses that are appropriate to their context. This means customizing learning tasks and methods to the specific needs in the professional or academic world. While the task and objective may be different in different contexts, ESP still consider the needs of individuals in the real world. Moreover, ESP follow the sociolinguistic view which emphasize that there is no one universal language standard, but individuals should develop communicative competence according to their unique language community and the context. Language community in ESP focus on the occupational and professional environments with their own culture and identity. In the analysis of a language for a specific purposes, it is important to understand their discourse of this is thus it's specific to that socio-cultural context. Task 8.1 Reflecting on your language community. In the past week, I interact with a various social group with different contexts. Some examples of such interaction include the first is family. In my home environment, I use language to communicate with my family members. We often use informal language with the nicknames and abbreviations that are unique to our family. Negotiating family issues such as schedule and event planning, it's also important part of this interaction. The next is academic contact. I participate in classroom discussion as a student. The language here is more focused on the academic material with the use of discipline-specific terms. I use formal language in my academic assignment. The next is friendship group. I also interact with my friends outside academic context. That language I use is more relaxed and perhaps more informal. We have a number of nicknames and humorous language that is unique to our group. The last is public service. I go to the banks, libraries, and shop. In my daily interaction, here's language use is more customer service oriented, such as a request for information or financial transaction. Each of these social group has its own language rules, such as a way of speaking, nicknames, special acronym, and signs of respect. I feel competent in communicating in all these contexts because I have developed a distinct language identity within each group. How do multiple literacies apply in TESOL? The application of a multiple literacy in TESOL, teaching English as a speaker of other language, plays a key role in helping learners acquire full competence in the target language, especially in the context of ESP. Here's how the application of the multiple literacies play a role in helping learners. The first is linguistic literacy. ESP teachers need to help learners develop linguistic literacy, which involves understanding grammar, for the vocabulary, and language structure that are context specific. This enables to them to produce oral and written text that suit their communication needs in a professional or academic environment. The second is cultural literacy in the TESOL context. Cultural literacy is very important because learners often communicate with native English speakers who have different cultural background. Teachers need to help learners understand the cultural norms, values, and practice in the target language community so that they can interact with cultural sensitivity and avoid mistakes or misinterpretation. The next is Context literacy. Context literacy involves in understanding how to speak and write according to specific context, such as language used in a professional or academic situations. ESP teachers should help the learners understand the difference in the speaking rules, language use, and etiquette in various communication contexts. The next is computer literacy. Computer literacy is also very important in the TESOL world, especially since a lot of language learning now happens online. Learners need to master computer technology, digital learning platforms, and technology-based tools used in language learnings. In the context as described by Kedin and Kedin 2002 regarding the needs of the non-native speakers speaking doctors, ESP teachers should focus on developing literacy that include in understand medical research, literature, communication in the medical conference, communicating with patient and empathy, and possibly also computer literacy if they participate in the medical virtual communities. It is important to understand that illiteracy in TESOL focus not only on understand and using language, but also on understanding that social, cultural, and professional context in which are the language is used. ESP teachers should support learners in developing literacy that suit their needs and the goals in the communicating in English in a particular environment. Task 8.2 Research Task. To conduct ethnographic research in language, environment, or domain, I choose to observe a cafe or restaurant that I frequent. Below are the result of my observation. Location, a popular city cafe on a street corner frequented by diverse clientele, including office workers, students, and couples. Specific phrase or formula. Waiters often use the word like welcome when the customer enters. People often say thank you when taking orders or exchanging money. It is common to hear the phrase, "What do you want?" as a conversation starter when the waiter takes the order. The phrase, "Can I help you?" is used by waiters when they want to help a customer. How people greet, continue, and close the conversation. Customer usually greet waiter with a smile and a friendly greeting, such as hello or good morning or afternoon. The conversation usually starts with a question, "What would you like to order?" When the order is complete, the customer says thank you, and the waiter usually responds with "You're welcome, enjoy." Conversations are often closed with a smile and "see you later." Behavioral patterns when people arrive, leave, or interact. When the customer arrives, they look for a available table and sit down. People often open the menu to see options. When they finish eating, customers leave the table by clearing away the leftovers. When the customer want to leave, they usually pay at the cashier and say goodbye to the staff. Features to be taught or explained or made explicit for first-time language learners entering the environment. For these observations, some from the features that may need to be taught for the first language learners entering the cafe or restaurant environment are greeting phrase such as hello or good morning or good afternoon to start a conversation with or the waiter. How to order the food or drink using phrase such as what you would like to order or I would like to order. How to say thank you when you're receiving an order. How to close conversation with a smile and the phrase like you're welcome and enjoy. In addition, it is also important to teach etiquette in the interacting with waiters and polite behavior, such as clearing the table after eating and saying goodbye when leaving. There are observation can help language learners who are new to the cafe or restaurant environment to feel more confident and comfortable when interacting with local staff and customers. Task 8.3 Web-based task. English Language Village in a simulated TV news broadcast conducted by children at the English Village, ABC Village in Taiwan. They are able to practice and demonstrate a variety of skills and competencies that should be useful in the future world of work. Here are some of the skills and competences they might have to practice. The first one are English speaking skills. Through simulating TV news broadcasts, children will engage in speaking English fluently and clearly. This is an invaluable skill in communicating in the world of work, especially if they plan to work in international or multilingual context. The seconds are script writing skill. Preparation of script for news broadcast requires good writing skills. These skills can be especially beneficial in the jobs that involve writing reports, article, or official message. The third are teamwork skills. In a simulated TV news broadcast, children might be cast as a member of the team who work together and to compile and present the news. Teamwork are key skill in many jobs across industry. The fourth are creativity and content development. They may have to develop creative ideas for their news content. These skills can be usable in the jobs that involve content planning and developing, such as marketing, social media, or advertising. The fifth are visual communication skill. Simulation of TV news broadcast might involve using audiovisual equipment. This can help children develop technical skills and understand how to convey message through visual media. The sixth are presentation skills. Speaking in from a camera requires good presentation skill. This ability will come in handy in work situation where a presentation or communication in front of the public is required. The seven are technique in the journalism and presentation. Children can be also learn the importance of ethics in journalism and the news presentation. This will help them develop an understanding of the truth, integrity, and the responsibility in the communication. This skill and the competence practice in the simulation of the news broadcast in English, village that can be transferred to the world of work in the various ways, depending of the profession pursued. For example, they may contribute to media profession, journalism, advertising, or jobs involving international communication. Preparation and the guidance that may be required to run TV broadcasts include training English involving pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar, mentoring in the development of writing skills and content planning, training in use of the audiovisual equipment and video editing, guidance in journalism ethics.
My name is Vanna Ramadanti, and I would like to explain to you about our second chapter in this material. It is about teaching for academic and professional literacies. In the world of learning, how is the idea or analysis of language learning planning as a learning material to learn? There are several answers or several possibilities to answer this question. And I will explain to you the second answer. The first one is reflect on your professional or academic context. So I will explain to you the first one first. So it's about reflect on your professional or academic context. And to do or to achieve these goals is we are using several methods. The first one is how people interact in this situation. And the second one is what type of text will encounter in this situation. And then the third is about what verbal context and situation will I encounter. And then how will be expected to behave in this situation. And what do I wish I knew in the situation like this. And the second one is about reflective teacher. In this condition, the teacher or the instructor must be understand or must be think about the condition and the situation in the learning room or in the classroom. And we also must think and we have to evaluate and plan learning even if the result is not same or is not matched to our expectation. And to do this, we have to pay the attention for several things. For the first one is about determine the area and make regeneralization. And also we have to showing gaps the broad and nice and our creativity thinking. And also we have to be nice.
So in the task 8.6, teacher as text analyst, the students are asked to select two examples of a text type that they use in their regular study or professional practice. They are asked to place the examples side by side and answer the following questions about each text, which derive from chapter 6 of this book. Are the answers similar of both texts? Can they identify typical characteristic of the text type? And then they have to choose which questions that they think would be useful to ask. There are 6 questions about the text, such as question about paragraphs, bullet points, short lines, words, verb forms, past time, present time tense, future time tense, passive voice, typical sentence types in the text like question, comments, statements, exclamation, question about what typically comes at the beginning, in the middle, at the end of the text, and then question about how are the stages of the text flagged up. For example, are there typical introductory phrase or words, or is there a specific layout or format on the page to show this? So they have to choose all of these questions that they think would be useful to ask. And then for the task 8.7, academic phrase bank and corpus of academic writing, students are asked to explore the website that the University of Manchester has developed. The website contains about phrase bank that reflects the typical phrase used in academic writing at different stages of the discourse, such as in the opening section and conclusion. The phrases are also classified for different kinds of writing, such as critical reviews and reflective writing. So, students are asked to explore this website and notice two things. The first thing is how specific phrases help to mark stages in a piece of academic writing. And the last thing is how specific phrases indicate the kind of writing that is being prepared. For example, critical, reflective, analytical, or descriptive. So that's our task that the student have to do.
8.3 Teaching for Web Literacies. In Teaching for Web Literacies is an educational approach that focuses on developing and enhancing students' skills for web literacy. This gives language teachers access to multiple language and teaching resources online, and also provides opportunities to learn in a way that's mirror play and communication outside the classroom. Electronic tools in teaching for web literacies. Because the teaching method has changed, therefore the tool used for learning must also adapt to technology. There are some electronic tools that currently being utilized in language teaching situations. First is blogs. Researchers have shown that how single author and collaboratively blogs may successfully promote self-expression and language learning strategies in the process of writing. Bloggers become part of discourse community in complex multimodal setting where they may learn cooperatively in space where people negotiate and construct meaning and text. So, from whom does the L2 blogger write? L2 blogger write to people who want to learn a second language, especially language teacher. Tools from chat to Twitter. Twitter is a microblogging service and it cannot be ignored. In promoting the use of Twitter, need for language production amongst learners and demands for teaching methods that encourage active learning with learners and interacting in the L2. Twitter's impact on language acquisition, as seen in comprehensive study by Antenos Conforti, indicates that students engage with Twitter frequently. Students' needs appears to be highly engaged with the Twitter tool throughout the study. Third is YouTube. People can make greater use of video posting on YouTube in their learning. Documented evidence from Davis in 2011 and from Watkins and Wilkins in 2011 reveals how YouTube can be used to practice wide variety of language skills. Again, within and outside of the classroom setting. From listening and pronunciation skill to reading and writing exercise and raising awareness of word English.
Rohani Sinaga will continue the material. Emerging area of games-based language learning. Vygotsky 1978 has argued that learners would progress better in situations where they could avail themselves of the assistance of their peers. Podcasting. Chapter 6 Note the way the spoken word is evolving as communication becomes faster, more global, and more accessible. Text 8-9 Integrating the skills with the mobile phone. The mobile phone and the 4 skills. 1. Speaking. 1. Discuss your favorite phone apps to create a short presentation. 3. Role play a communication for debate. 2. Listening. 1. Listening to record interviews. And 2. Listen to directions. 3. Listen to the latest news. 4. Listen to short stories. 3. Reading. 1. Read articles. 2. Read user review of cell phone apps. 3. Read a short story. 4. Read a text that describes how to use a cell phone. 4. Writing. 1. Write a short essay to review your favorite phone app. 3. Write a letter to a friend. 4. Write step-by-step instructions. Text 8. 10. Artificial intelligence writing tutors. 1. My Access School by Vantage Learning. This program is designed to help students improve their writing skill. 2. Writing Planet by Measurement Planet. Writing Planet is a highly adaptive and customizable platform capable of providing writing exercise tailored to individual levels. 3. Write to Learn by Person. This web-based tool is designed to help students develop their writing skill and reading comprehension. Finding the right tool for the right job. Table 8-9a Evaluating tools for learning and teaching. 1. Blog. Operate for sharing writing content, reflective assignment, discussion and interaction. Most effective for summary writing and descriptive reflection. 2. Twitter. Operate for brief updates and sharing links. Much effective for quick information dissemination and engaging with a wider audience through conscious message. 3. YouTube. Operate for video-based tutorials and demonstration. Most effective for visual and auditory content delivery. 4. Podcasting. Appropriate for 1. Audio-based content delivery and interviews. Most effective for audio-based contents and in-depth interviews. 5. Facebook. Appropriate for 1. Group discussion and 2. Sharing resources. Most effective for 1. Group discussion and collaborative projects. Table 8-6b Further web tools for learning and teaching. 1. Wikis. Approach for collaborative writing, group projects, documenting, and building knowledge bases. Most effective for collaborative knowledge creation, group projects, maintaining reference materials, and encouraging collaborative critical thinking. 2. Second Life. Appropriate for creating virtual environments and simulation. Most effective for simulation and training. 3. Skype. Appropriate for real-time video conferencing and communication. Most effective for real-time virtual discussion and Q&A. Teaching case study 16 and online learning in Jakarta, Indonesia. This case study predominantly looks at the use of mobile phones as a new platform for online learning. Text 8-11 What are the implications for teachers in this learning from in an unstructured context? Teachers can learn from unmediated learning and incorporate some of its qualities into their teaching methods. What does it suggest about the importance or the rise of structured teaching? The example in the book show that some learners can self-direct their learning successfully. What does it suggest about the importance of student motivation and incentive? This learning and high incentive for learning the language. Can you suggest any problems or issue with learning online through mobile phone in this way? It depends of a high level of learning self-discipline and motivation. The last ache for further reading. Text 8 12 Fransky M 2001 Digital Natives and Digital Immigrants. This article explores the implication of this generational divide in the context of education and how educators can adapt their teaching methods to better engage digital natives. Text 813 was our M Leo 2011 Emerging Technologies for Autonomous Language Learning. This article explores how technology, including the internet and various digital tools, can empower learners to take control of their language learning.